Did you look over your questions?
Nope. Can you tell me the answer to this one?
No, you're gonna think of it yourself while I'm doing the intro, I guess. What up, Maddelbees? You already know the drill if you've been following this channel for a while. Life gets to be too busy, we do a Q&A. We actually had to do both the last couple weeks. If you notice, we weren't here. Life has been a lot.
Yes.
So we skipped a couple videos. Honestly, a lot going on in our personal lives, mental health wise. And weirdly, we won't get too deep into this. Normally when I'm experiencing low points mentally, Madison is not. And so she keeps me going and vice versa. But the last few weeks have been like both of us just like kind of tired. Just tired. That's the answer. Regardless, today we're going to be answering your questions, and I decided we'll answer pretty much all of them. So we're going to try to keep them fast, and we're going to let Madison start us off.
First question we got, any eco-friendly things Madison does that Shelby doesn't? I guess maybe I would say on the occasion that like Shelby why are you drumming on your foot? That's distracting. We're gonna try again. I guess I would say on the occasion that, you know, Shelby's not around and has her car, right? Because we're a one-car household. Stop banging on yourself. I'm trying to focus and you're just Bob the Buildering away on yourself.
Okay, go. Sorry, it's fine.
Since we are a one-car household, if Shelby is ever out with her car, I do find myself having to bike or walk to my doctor's appointments. Luckily, I strategize to where my doctor's appointments are like right up the block, so it's not too big of a deal. I do find myself having to do that ever so often just when she has the car and she's like out running errands, so.
You definitely bike more than I do.
Yes.
That was a big deciding factor in our move, and so that's gonna change very soon, and we're very excited about that. Let's go with the question that was related to that. What do you like about Austin / do you feel like living in a city is more sustainable because of urban sprawl? So this question is very much related to like what we were just talking about and like what I was hinting at. In comparison to like every other city in Texas, Austin has a very millennial demographic. I could name a bunch of little things that all add together for the reason I like Austin, but the main reason that we both like it is it's a very millennial focused, catered to city with the places that there are to eat, places to hang out, like nature. There's a lot of hiking and swimming, natural, not like chlorinated pools and stuff. Just the activities and like the liveliness of the city is based around millennials. And so that's the reason we've wanted to get back there. And also just in general as well, there is definitely representation as far as like demographics go in other cities. Actually in every major city in Texas, I think the demos are pretty good. But in terms of like freedom of thought, freedom of expression, Austin definitely leads in Texas. And so that's important for us personally, but also for our future and anybody who might join our family in the future.
Nice. I like how you sprinkled that in there.
We've answered the question if we want kids and how we want to get kids many times before. So if you don't know the answer to that, just go check out other Q&As. But I don't think this one we've ever answered before, and it's how many kids do you want? It's a very hard, fast line. It's very easy to answer.
Yes. We only want 2 kids, 1 each, just to see like how.
1 each?
Yeah. A boy and a girl.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
How many do you want? I thought
No,
this was hard and fast.
I thought you meant 1 for each of us, and I was like, that's not how this works. Anyway, yes, we want 2 kids. We want to adopt. I don't know if that's how life will actually work out, but people ask this question all the time, and I feel like it feels weird to continuously talk about it when it's not happening soon.
Baby steps, baby steps.
Anyway, that's the answer.
We got, what's the best 90s or 2000s snack that got discontinued?
You guys, everything I like gets discontinued. Everything I like. I just want to put that out there. Do you not have one? Do you not have a favorite snack?
I have no idea.
Okay, listen, the only one I know for sure that like I ate all the time when I was a kid has been discontinued, that I don't eat anymore, but it's the Little Debbie's brownies with walnuts. They don't make the ones with nuts anymore. It's just the ones with the little like rainbow sprinkle things. I never liked those when I was a kid. Even if I like those ones with walnuts don't exist anymore. And I think I didn't really eat a lot of snacks when I was a kid because my dad was a diabetic. My mom didn't let us have them in the house. Yeah, it's the only one I can think of. I thought that question was interesting, but you don't have an answer? Fruitopia? Does Fruitopia count? Did you ever have Fruitopia?
What is Fruitopia? Oh my goodness.
It was the little fruit juices they used to sell in vending machines. They don't make them anymore.
Dang.
You don't have anything?
No.
Okay, just what was your favorite snack when you were a kid then?
A Snickers? Does that count? That ain't been discontinued, but I guess I used to really like Snickers when I was growing up.
Okay.
So,
Shelby, are you getting in the fall zone? The answer is I wish I was. I definitely am starting to see people talk about it, post about it. I'm getting like the cozy vibes, TikToks. Here, it's still in the 90s, and that's really sad. I haven't swapped my wardrobe from summer to fall yet. I do have what we call in this household a hot fall wardrobe. Yeah, we haven't really dove into it yet. I also typically like to wait until October. I know that's kind of lame of me, but to me, it doesn't feel like fall at all until October is at least here. I don't want to get too far into this, but I honestly hate how everything in the world is like getting moved up. Like people are decorating for Halloween on September 1st, and I hate that November 1st is now like the time to decorate for Christmas. That's just not my vibe, but yes, I am excited, but just haven't made a lot of moves for it yet.
she's also very pumped because on September 30th, the new Hocus Pocus movie comes out.
Yes, we are counting down for that for sure.
Next question, tea or coffee or both? I absolutely despise coffee. I hate the smell of coffee. I hate the taste of coffee. Ever since I've been young, I tried coffee at like a bank once and it was super gross, and then I've had it like several times in my life since then.
No, several.
And just not been a fan at all. Tea, on the other hand, I kind of had a weird relationship with my dad growing up, and we would end up like being at hotel breakfasts a lot because he traveled for work. And that's kind of how I was introduced to tea, and then I've loved it in multiple forms ever since.
Why are you saying you tried coffee several times? You maybe have tried it once.
I tried coffee about every 5 years. since I've had it at the bank, so that's why I said several.
Several, so twice, maybe.
At least 3 times that I can remember.
Where was I?
2 of the times we were together, 1 of the times I was in high school.
I don't remember these times.
I gave another
I
shot.
remember once. Regardless, not the point. Fine. Madison hates coffee, likes tea. I like coffee, like tea. Definitely like coffee more. Not all tea. Like just a brown tea at a restaurant, no. But like a boba or like a peppermint tea or something like that, yeah.
So this question is, what's something you do off screen to keep you busy? Hobby or not? At the beginning of the year, I set out to run like 5 times a week or something. Our schedule has been so crazy busy this year that I haven't been able to make that happen, but literally just last week, I started running again consistently, and I'm very proud of that. We have a trip coming up, and hopefully I can like keep it going and that doesn't mess everything up again, because that's usually what happens.
It's really hard to keep a schedule when you're not home. It's like very difficult.
Yeah, so that keeps me busy. That, editing, filming, and then I work when I'm not doing those things. So those are my hobbies.
I always find it interesting when people ask us what hobbies we have off screen, because you guys see our weekends. So anything that we're doing in our free time is on the vlog channel.
Traveling.
For the last few years, it's been a lot of travel. That's been our hobby. Even if it's like going to our family's house, I feel like we're always gone. We're going somewhere tomorrow. Like traveling has been our hobby, and there are other things I want to get into, and I definitely think once we move, we're going to develop more at-home hobbies, because traveling in the way we have done so heavily in the last couple of years will no longer be the case, and we'll be home a lot more.
Yeah.
So
that's what we're looking forward to.
How are the blinds? Was the house a little cooler? I think yes. I think they definitely make a difference. And if nothing else, it makes me feel like there's something I can do. Because when the air isn't keeping up during the day when it's like 100+ degrees outside, it felt like, well, there's nothing I can do except sit here. But now it feels like I can watch the time of day, watch the temperature, close them when I need to. And I think it has helped for sure. Yeah.
In a perfect world, where would you each love to travel to? I would love to travel to Europe. That's been something that's been on the list for a while and would be really exciting to get to do. But that would only be after we've checked off all of the states in the US, which we haven't quite done yet.
Just Europe as a whole? Because that's like a whole continent.
I just feel like it's so close together that like between that and like the good transportation, you just say Europe and you take the time to do Europe. That's how I'm thinking about it in my head.
Yeah. To be honest with you, most of my dream travel destinations have been in the US. Outside of the US, I mean, it's just massive and very vast and varying in landscapes, honestly. Thinking outside of the US, maybe Australia or Thailand. Those are too high up on my list.
Very nice. Very nice.
We're trying to answer all of them, so we'll just do rapid fire on a couple of these. So good bank for high yield savings account.
Wealthfront. For sure.
Yeah, we use Wealthfront for everything. Everything other than our long-term savings and banking. All of our extra money is funneled into Wealthfront. I have a $50 startup thing with them. I'll try to remember to link it below if you want it.
Madison, I know you're hesitant on pets. Have you ever considered a dog? They make great running partners. Honestly, guys, when we do get to the point of having kids, Shelby says we have to get animals for the kids to grow up with, but I have had no desire to get a animal whatsoever. I'm totally content-ish with the 2 chickens and cat that we currently possess.
But she does say that when we do get a dog, she does want it to be a dog that could run with her. Because we both like corgis, like we kind of want a corgi, but they're not really running dogs. And I really like Pomeranians, but again, not really running dogs. And in reality, we'll probably just take whatever is at the shelter when the time comes. I don't think we'll be too picky about it. Future. But Madison could be happy without one at all.
Yes.
She doesn't want them.
Yes.
How's Val doing? She seemed a bit sad when she realized she wasn't going to lay anymore. So she actually hasn't been laying for probably like a year, huh?
Yeah.
Like a really long time. At the beginning, she would go into the coop and lay in there like she thought she was supposed to be. And it took her, I mean, she still does it sometimes. I catch her maybe every month or so just laying in the coop pretending to lay an egg, which is fine. She doesn't seem particularly sad about it. And what I've noticed since she stopped laying eggs and Dougie still is Douglas is always hot. Like Douglas is always panting. She's also always stressed, in a bad fucking mood. And Val is the chill chicken. She's never panting. She's always chilling. So, I mean, can you imagine having to lay an egg every day? It probably is a huge relief to her that she doesn't have to anymore. She might feel like her life doesn't have the same purpose it did. I don't know if that's how chickens deal with that stuff, but as far as like her everyday life, not laying an egg has improved it.
Is there a reason you wear your wedding band on your middle finger? Which, for those of you who don't know, I do.
Oh, I didn't put my ring back on last night.
You are ringless currently.
Clearly rings were not like top priority for us.
Really quick story. Before Shelby and I got married, I was like anti-ring. I don't want a ring. I'm not going to wear a ring. And then like the day before, I was like, I think it'll be really cool as a part of like the ceremonial exchange so that we're not just sitting there looking derpy for like me to give you something and you to give me something. I got this ring online for like $8 last minute. When Shelby put it on my finger the day of, it did not fit my ring finger. It was a little too big, and since my middle finger is a little bigger than my ring finger, it fits my middle finger just perfect. I like the feeling of like it not feeling there, so I just kept wearing it. I'm really not into rings or jewelry, so.
We could also just get another ring that actually fits your ring finger, because apparently we learned since her doing this that a black silicone band on your middle finger is like supposed to represent the asexual community, which Madison is not a member of. We really should maybe think about that.
I don't want to buy another ring, because if I bought another ring, then I'd have to get rid of this ring, and I'd just rather not consume.
How did you meet and know that each other was the one? I think a lot of you guys probably know the story too, so we'll go fast. Madison and I met in college. We were oceanography lab partners. Do you know how to say how you knew I was the one? Let's hear it. Oh, she does have a story, actually. I forgot.
Yes.
I totally
so, like a week or so after Shelby and
Why are you crying? She does this every time.
I'm super emotional when it comes to some things, and I definitely am tearing up. Like a week after Shelby and I got together, we got super wasted at this party, and the next morning Shelby was like being so sweet and taking care of me. And I don't know if you all know this, but I got mommy issues, and I also got daddy issues. But my mommy issues were a lot around like my mom not really taking care of me. So when I saw that Shelby could do that, I was like, this is a good trait in a partner. I'm really digging that. I'm into that.
Madison had a drinking phase, we'll say, in college.
I had a drinking problem.
I was gonna say had a drinking problem, but I didn't know
did.
if you wanted that out on the internet. She also would get hangovers. Like I would drink, rarely really get drunk, but never get a hangover. But Madison would get them all the time, and then she would be like, I'm not hungover. Close the window. Like it was hilarious. She always tells me that's the moment she knew that we were meant for each other. I hope that answers.
Oh, you didn't answer. Okay, cool.
What?
You didn't say how you knew I was the one.
I feel like for me, it wasn't like a moment. It's like a gradual thing. Like, I think it's really interesting that you have one moment. For me, okay, so I don't know if I guess I've never told this. People always ask me if I liked Madison before we were dating or if I knew I liked girls before Madison and all those sort of things. And I always say that I was not conscious of that. Looking back afterwards, I know that like if I was going to hang out with Madison, I would make sure that like I got ready. Like I tried to look cute. I would walk different ways on campus to like run into her and do stuff like that. But I didn't put all of those things together until one day I asked Madison to like do something for me or with me, and she said no. And I had this like very strong reaction of like, why doesn't she care about me? Like I think she should, and whatever. It's a whole long story. Basically, I had like a little mini breakdown, and then I realized, oh, I like her. That's what's happening. I hope that kind of answers the question.
We got, what does 10, 10, 20 mean? Like, I know it's y'all's anniversary, but what's the meaning of it to you guys? Honestly, we just thought it was a cool date. 10 plus 10 is 20, and that's the kind of date that only comes around once in a lifetime, and we just rolled with it.
But not even 10 plus 10 is 20. 10, 10, 20, 20 is a really cool, I mean, like, it's, I think, a cool date. And we waited until we were waiting until 2020 to get married because Madison turned 26 in August of 2020, and she was
on my parents' health insurance.
Yeah, sorry. So we were waiting for her to be able to, we were taking advantage of her being on her dad's health insurance until we no longer could. August of 2020 was the first month where we could even get married, and October was like 2 months after that, obviously. So it was just a cool date, and it was time to do it, and that's what we did.
Now insurance is so expensive. If you're under 26, like, I highly encourage you all to like go get all your blood work and your like annuals and stuff, because healthcare in this country is a joke. Insurance is so expensive.
You know what's even crazier about that is and this is why they do it. We really didn't experience any health anything until we got off our parents' insurance. Like, I remember literally the day I got kicked off my mom's insurance is the first day I went to the doctor since I moved out of their house, and I was having like problems, and then I didn't have insurance, and it was a whole thing.
It's crazy. That could be a whole nother like vlog, but we'll just leave it there. We'll leave it there.
Yeah. Okay. What has been the highlight of your year so far?
Going to Hawaii was definitely the highlight, and learning about their culture through like everything. Their culture with the environment, with the food, with the people. Like, I've never been to another place like that.
Really, Hawaii is its own country. It should be. I think Hawaii was a big deal for me. I also, this is kind of like a weird thing to say, but I got to go to my cousin's debate tournament in March, and that was really, really cool for me. Like, I don't know, I take a lot of pride in that. Well, but the other thing is coming up. I got invited to a climate summit that YouTube is putting on, and it's for their creators invite only, which is so cool. 16-year-old me would lose her shit knowing that I was doing that. That's also a really fun thing.
Relationship advice for other lesbians.
Madison didn't look through these questions before. She's trying to come up with things on the fly.
When it comes to advice that I would give other lesbians, I don't know if it's lesbians or like just in general, like regardless, to have a good relationship, you need things like communication, understanding your partner's like wants, needs, desires. We read this book a long time ago. I think a lot of people know about it, but like it's the love.
So I think it's 7 love languages.
7 love languages. Whatever. Basically understanding like what your partner needs and when to leave them alone and all that fun stuff. But I think the biggest thing is probably going to be communication. We have very different communication styles from how we each grew up. Learning how to, I guess, complement each of those so that there isn't always conflict has been a really big thing for our relationships. Just figuring out how to talk to one another. Because a lot of relationships we've seen that have issues, I'm not going to call anybody out, but just people not communicating the way they should be. Or just getting to the point where they realize that they can't communicate well, or it causes so much conflict that you see each other shut down and not talk to each other at all.
I mean, I think I've found everyone around us has struggles in that area. Like, it's really crazy to see. And we did too for a lot of our relationship, and we went to counseling and got it under control. At the end of the day, very much the most important things you can have in a relationship is self-awareness, taking accountability, and improving on those things. And if that means your communication is bad, then you need to be aware of it and admit that you're wrong and work on it, you know? And at the end of the day, if your partner is not willing to do those things, to admit when they're wrong, take accountability and work on it, can't have a long-term relationship that way. At least not a healthy one. Yeah. definitely just like take care of that, you know. This is a good question, and if anybody has suggestions, please put them in the comments. Will the outdoor cats move with you guys? I'm confused if they're outdoor pets or strays. The cats that live outdoor, I only feed 2 of them. It was 3 of them, but one of them, I don't know what happened. He disappeared one day. What happened was, at the very beginning of the pandemic, this cat showed up in our backyard, and she would not leave. Madison was like, don't feed that cat, Shelby. Do not feed that cat, Shelby. So I didn't, and she stayed in our backyard, you guys. I'm not kidding. She was always in our backyard for like 2 months. Like, she didn't go anywhere, and I was like, how is she eating? How is she surviving? I didn't understand. She was very like skinny, but she would stay in our yard. And then one day she showed up, and I recognized she was pregnant. And I told Madison, I know you don't want me to feed this cat, but like, she's pregnant and I'm gonna feed her. So I started feeding her, and then she had her kittens, the 2 of them and the one of them that disappeared. So basically her and her kitten have lived in our backyard ever since then. We got them fixed and we feed them, but they're not our cats. Like, they don't let us touch them. They don't like us. Well, Turtle, when she was younger, like, she did seem like she wanted to be my friend, but they are still strays. Very much, I can't catch them. And if I move them somewhere else, they're not gonna stay put simply because I'm there. So I'm really struggling with what to do with them. And I know what the options are. I just don't like any of the options. Move them with us, but I very much worry that there could be a colony where we're moving, and that could be dangerous for them. Obviously, a third option is to make them indoor cats, but that's also not really an option because this one. And maybe give them up for adoption, but they've been living outside for years and they're not really like friendly cats.
If you live in San Antonio and you want some more feral cats,
100%.
definitely let us know, because
Yeah.
really just need someone to feed them. Like, because you don't pet them, they're strays. Shelby's just been feeding them.
Yeah.
So if you do want to take that on, let us know. Maybe we could coordinate something.
It would really make me feel a lot better if I could figure something out, because I am pretty worried about them. If the worst comes to worst, I will ask my neighbor to feed them, but my neighbors, neither of them are very crazy about the idea. Let me know.
Bailey says, do you miss us like we miss y'all? Of course, Bailey. You know we miss you. Shout out to Bailey, Greg, and the puppies
Shouts
and the
out.
kitties. We're actually planning to see you in November. Basically, as soon as Bailey left, we were like, when are we gonna go see them? We've had these tickets booked for a while now, and you all will be seeing Bailey and Greg on the vlog again very soon, this fall.
Okay, speaking of fall garden crops, no fall garden this year because we're moving. Maybe once we get there, I'll plant something. Probably, well, we're gonna have to like start all over, y'all. We're gonna have to get new beds, new dirt. Probably gonna skip fall this year.
Last question I got is from my sister, and she says, what you gonna do with all that junk up in your trunk? We're gonna take all our junk up in this trunk, unload the trunk, and dump it in our new home.
We're still trying to decide if we want to do moving vlogs on this channel or on mine. My channel's been like silent for a minute because I've been struggling, but I think we're considering the idea of moving the vlogs over to there for like the whole house situation. But moving vlogs coming soon, and we definitely like have accumulated more things since living here than our tiny garage apartment, but I still don't feel like we have a lot. The plants are gonna be a headache, but other than that, like, I feel like it's gonna be chill. We don't have a lot of junk in this trunk.
Yeah, that's it. That's all we got, folks. Thanks for hanging out with us, and until next week, catch you later, Battle Bees.